Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of July 10th through the 17th of 2022. This is a full moon week, and as we know, the full moon happens once a month. This one happens to be in the sign of Capricorn, and I'll get to that. But I wanted to start out with giving you the foundation, a little bit of the energy for this upcoming week, as it's already been laid out with Mars entering the sign of Taurus. So it left its home sign of Aries, is now in Taurus, and Mercury has left its home sign of Gemini and is now in Cancer. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that so many of us are in tune with these underpinnings of energy that is showing up for us, and we don't always know what to do with it or how to make sense of it, or you can sense it, but it's like, I can't quite put my finger on it. And so that's what I feel is important to be spoken to in this moment. So what we may be focusing on now in certain situations, relationships, maybe the thoughts in our mind are triggering a focal point where our basic needs, think about Mars, and once it's our survival, our desire, it's our drive and our energy here of what do we need, not only to survive, but with Mars and Taurus, what do we need to feel like we have some security, some foundation under us? We want some results, something tangible that we can anchor to. Mercury in Cancer, Cancer also wants that kind of security, but it wants it on an emotional level, not just on the physical. But these are wonderful complements because our emotions, our feelings can drive us, can be our compass that helps us to manifest the results that we're looking for. And with Mars here, even though Mars may move slower in the sign of Taurus, it also is one that can be methodical in some ways, if nothing else, to just stand its own ground. We may find ourselves going, I'm going to get what I want because I'm just not budging on this particular subject, or I'm not budging on what I want at the moment. We can even be thinking about the past and what worked there and then building on it because we want those results. We want something that we can cling to, if you will, that will help us to feel safe. That means we might even be recording all the things that people are saying with Mercury and Cancer here in a way that says, okay, this person just said something that makes me feel good. I'm going to hang on to it. And we might give a lot of weight to what people are saying around us. Now, the one thing we have to be careful of is that with Mercury and Cancer, it can have a manipulative quality to it. And while you've probably heard me say manipulation isn't all bad, and it's not, but there is that shadow side of it where in order to get what we want, we're being stubborn and we're not budging, but then we start manipulating people using our words or playing mind games with them so that we can, I can already tell you when it comes to relationship, it's fun to play like in the bedroom and come up with some fun ideas and to, role play whatever that, lends for itself. But if we're trying to intentionally make our beloved jealous, or we're trying to get what we want by playing the victim, or knowing that they have a vulnerability and then we prey on it, that's not so good, right? So do watch out for that. And if you're on the receiving end of that, you need to check in with yourself, and that's where standing your ground can benefit. Now we have another earthy energy here with this Capricorn full moon. So we're looking at wanting to achieve things. And with the moon here, that also has to do with what we need, how we feel, how we react when we feel threatened. It has to do with our past. And with the Capricorn here, there's a need to be respected. There's a need that we want to be seen as someone who has their shit together, who can come in and create the results that people are looking for, and if nothing else, for ourselves. Also, if a relationship or a situation has felt a little too heavy or burdensome, then we're going to look for a solution to get out of that heaviness, to have it a little bit lighter. And that may be a focal point. It's a good thing, especially if you're trying to achieve balance or harmony, or trying to achieve something that feels reciprocal or has a resolution to it. This is a good time to workshop through it. I always say grab a third party, a neutral party if you need to, because I would venture to say that if you employ your friends or family, they're not going to be objective. They're going to probably take your side or the other person's side, depending on the situation. And you're not going to get a really clear picture. So that's why I always say, please grab a professional and neutral party to help give perspective. Do watch out for a little too much pessimism at this full moon as well. That can creep in. If you have a tendency to lean towards the negative, then I would offer, one, don't isolate yourself because that could go to depression. Two, give yourself permission to reframe if it starts to get too heavy with that pessimism here. Now, a full moon also has a revelation point. Think about it's a culmination. So think back all the way to January. What were your seeds of intention at the new moon in Capricorn, and the full moon in Cancer in January closed up last year's new moon in Cancer. So this full moon in Capricorn should be bringing to fruition and culmination some seeds that you planted at the new moon in Capricorn in January. Now, Venus, I want to talk about her because even though she's still going to be in the sign of Gemini this week, she does transit into the sign of Cancer at the beginning of next week. So I want to talk about how we're going to feel that energy. And we probably, hopefully, have been feeling some of this lightness that Venus and Gemini can give us. So our charm and our intellect has probably been a big attraction for us. If you've been looking for love and you've been socializing, this is a time where you get a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. Capitalize on this last week to just give yourself permission to play, to have fun, to socialize, to have this feeling of like easy breezy and communicating what you want or expressing what you value most. And then you can also find that when Venus makes her transit into the sign of Cancer, all these things that you've been talking about can finally anchor in and start to feel like there's some sense of belonging, and that you can attract people in situations where you get a more gentler, softer, more open and homely quality to it. And you can find yourself being a little indirect in expressing yourself when Venus moves into the sign of Cancer, or another person can. So use this last week of Venus and Gemini to plant the seeds, to kind of just throw some things out there and let them just kind of gestate for a little bit. And then when Venus moves into Cancer, you can revisit some of those seeds you planted and just see where you land. Also, we're going to be wanting to feel as though we belong. We're going to want others to feel as though we belong with Venus in Cancer. So we can use our words, we can use our homes, we can use the things that bring us great joy in expressing that love. This is a beautiful love language opportunity where you might do the hey, let me feed everybody. Let's all get together over a good meal and just enjoy family and just enjoy what it feels like to belong to each other. It's not an easy transit here. I'm going to plant this seed as well. It's not an easy transit for those of us who could be in a codependent or a toxic relationship. And so because Venus in Cancer doesn't like to let go, and it can be very long suffering. And so if this is you and you are not wanting to let go of the relationship, it's a beautiful placement to be able to work with that codependency or that toxicity, and to have, again, that third party help you be able to come up with new practices that you both can commit to, and you can recognize, hey, I'm doing that thing that has created a codependency. Let me change the way in which I do it. All right, you guys, I really hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and come find me at jamiedawn.com. I look forward to connecting with you on an individual basis. Have a great week.